I'm looking out the window right now and it is bright and sunny here in Southern California, or it might be very snowy and cold where you are. Either way, I got you covered with some activities that you could do for snowflakes. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. Let's dig into some winter themed activities for snowflakes. I have some activities that I've done before in the past all around winter themed kind of things. So if you haven't seen those, I'll put them down below in the description box so you can get some more ideas and inspirations to learn through play. And speaking of inspirations to learn through play, if you are new around here, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the videos that we do here. I do educational activities for kids with those ideas and inspirations. Plus I show you where I source all the fun products and Dollar Tree hauls and all that good stuff and giveaways. You're not gonna wanna miss it, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. And of course, I wanna hear back from you guys, so leave me a comment. It's my favorite part of the day where I get to read your ideas and inspirations as well. So what are you doing for the winter to keep your kids busy and entertained? Let me know. Now let's get on to some snowflake activities. This first one is what I like to call kind of a tinker tray. So I have some materials here. These are all things I already had. And I want to emphasize that just to take a moment to look around your house because you might be surprised at the things you have. We're going to be making snowflakes out of these items, and I really did just walk around my house looking for items that would work. So for instance, I have some cotton swabs here. These aren't cotton balls, but they're the little pom-poms, the craft pom-poms. I had a whole bucket of these in a sensory bin, and I just picked out the white ones, and I have different sizes of each kind of floating around in the container. This container came from the Target dollar section. You don't need it. Use whatever you have. Use a tray. Doesn't even matter. These little stones, there's like a frosted one and a clear one. These came from the floral section at Dollar Tree, and they actually had a different color. I just pulled out the white and the clear ones. These are gems. Whoa! That I use as table scatter for a shimmer and shine party that I kept as counters, and now I'm going to use them for this. I think they'd be perfect. They came from Oriental Trading, and these are just different shades of blue regular counting chips that you'd use for counting activities. So I got a whole bunch of these, I think from Learning Resources, like a whole bag full, and I just pulled out the blue. So the idea is not to overwhelm your child with too many options, so you might want to start with this many or maybe less. But what you're doing is you're making your own snowflakes, and this may seem like play or art or just kind of a silly thing to do to some people. But what this is really doing is letting your child observe a snowflake. If they have never seen one before, you might want to show them a picture and to work on their interpretation of how it looks, because we all know snowflakes are all different, and using all of the manipulatives in these boxes to create whatever that looks like to them. And it's going to be different for every child, and this just gives them an opportunity to really use their minds to be creative and think about what that could look like. And even as I'm doing this, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm finding that there are a lot of different possibilities and how this can end up looking, and that's the beauty of it. You can have a lot of fun playing around with this and doing all sorts of different ideas to create your snowflakes. There was a previous video I did in which used some free printables and cotton swabs that I really did like, and I used a couple years in a row, so make sure to go and check out that video because it had some really good ideas. I can't remember the website that made it, but it was a lot of fun. So I got a little carried away here off camera and making my own little design here just for fun. Here's my snowflake. As I was gathering materials for this activity, I realized that there are so many other things that you can use for snowflakes. For instance, these are dominoes that came from the Dollar Tree, but don't use the number side. Turn them around and use the white side to add on. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or even the Dollar Tree wooden Jenga blocks, the stackable game blocks made out of wood, and they're meant to play like a mini Jenga. The same thing. They can also be used as a really pretty natural material to make a snowflake. I did find some beads. Beads would be great for this. This was from a set that had some snowflake beads in it and some kind of shimmery kind of beads, which are a lot of fun too. And these are pony beads that I got from the dollar section. Also, you can get these at Walmart, just different colors. I pulled out the light blue, the dark blue, and the white. And so these are also a really great option if you are looking in your house for things to use for your own tinker tray. If you come up with a snowflake tinker tray, post it on Instagram. I want to see your ideas, and I would love to see what you came up with around your house that was this blue and white snowflake thing. Over here I have some glitter glue, which leads me into the next activity. For this one, I grabbed a piece of paper and my other materials that I was using. I'm choosing these because they are light. You could use maybe some of the cotton balls with the other ones and maybe some of these little glitter things. Once again, these are all materials I had on hand. From the Dollar Tree, you can get the glitter glue. I picked out the clear silver one and the blue. And what you can do is have your child draw, or you could draw a snowflake. You can have them trace a line that you've drawn on there, or you can just have them freehand it. And on camera, it's much harder for me to do this quickly. I'm not a craft vlogger, if you didn't know, so you're just gonna have to take my artwork for what it is. And so you can make a little snowflake with your craft glue, and then you can add on embellishments that you wish. And like I said, you could use like the pony beads and stick them on, which would be really great, or you could use some of these little gem stickers, just anything to embellish. And it's great about the glitter glue is that it's glue, so it'll help adhere it onto your snowflakes, and you can do more than one on a picture. You'll have to excuse my super dirty dry erase board here, but the same thing. For the younger kids, draw a huge snowflake on the board. Quite big, maybe something like this. And then you can have them do a fine motor exercise by taking some of those beads and placing them along the edges. This is an excellent fine motor grasp activity because it's really going to take a lot to use that pincer grasp to just place all the pieces right on top of the snowflake line. They can do patterns if you wish them to do patterns. They can do all certain colors. They could even use some of the things from this tray that are a little bit bigger if these are too small for them to start off with, and use those as tracing as well. So this one is a way to make it a little bit easier for the kids that aren't quite ready to design their own. Like I said, all these activities can be adapted in a manner that is great for your child's own age and skill level. Geo boards are another great way to do snowflake activities. This came from a set from Lakeshore Learning. You can get these anywhere. I have them in my Amazon store too, just plain geo boards, and they use rubber bands. So I went ahead and pulled out some of the white rubber bands to use and some of the blue. And the object here is to make a snowflake using the geo boards. Now, geo boards are another finger strengthening kind of activity. These are awesome to help improve those grasping muscles in the hand, and they have a lot of flexibility in what you can do with them, so that makes them a lot of fun. Maybe I should make this a little bit more even. And on the grid, all they have to do is what they would do if they were making a snowflake with paper, kind of extending the pieces. Well, that one just flew across the room, extending the pieces across the board to make that snowflake shape. And this one's very just kind of crude here as I'm trying to do this as I'm talking to you guys, but you can work up a couple of different ways to do it. And you are, oops, they're flying all over the place, you guys. You can improve their finger grasp that way. So Snowflake geoboards, it's a lot of fun. Another one I wanted to show you is a free printable, and I was unable to print this for you guys. My printer was just not working, but I can show you here on the screen. These are perfect for just different levels. So if you have a beginner, like a really young preschooler or an older toddler, cut these out and just cut them in half, and you can have a symmetry matching game with the snowflakes. You want to make it a little bit harder, just turn them to black and white and don't use them as color, and cut them in half that way. And even harder would be to cut them more than one time, maybe 1 or 2 times. And what you're doing is you're matching up all the pieces like a puzzle, and you're matching the symmetry of the snowflake. I'm going to put the link to this free printable down below in the description box so you can find it right away. I've kind of shown this activity before, and that's using geometric shapes to make snowflakes. In a previous video, there were some free printables that I found that you could do that. However, you don't need the printables if you don't want them. You can simply use your geometric shapes to make your own snowflake-like shapes. You just have to make sure that you're staying symmetrical. So you definitely would teach and talk to your children about how to do that. And what's great about geometric shapes is that you are learning really basic math skills all at the same time of playing, seemingly playing with blocks. And you're learning how the shapes can go together to make different shapes. And you're learning how to place them so that they are symmetrical on each side. There's my snowflake. I do wish that they were all the same color, so another option would be to cut out your own shapes in the same color with construction paper. Do you have a snowflake activity that you like to do? I want to hear about it. Let me know down below in the comments. I love reading what you guys have to say. Your suggestions are always right on the mark. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.